What's going on, everybody? It is Tuesday, and thanks again for joining me for another entry of Zero Hour, where I, your host, Extra Zero, try to bring you all the Transformers news that I've been absorbing throughout the course of the week. So we got a lot of stuff, and I mean a lot of stuff to cover because we just had New York Toy Fair, and I'm not gonna lie, it was actually one of the better toy fairs that I've seen in recent memory. So it seems like Toy Fair is back in a big way. And yeah, I'm really excited for everything that got revealed. So if you're new to the channel, welcome on in. This is a live show, and I'll be looking over at that live chat over there. So if you are watching me live, don't be a stranger. Pop into the live chat. Let me know how you're doing. Feel free to chime in. I like to make you all a part of the show and highlight your comments throughout the course of the show. We'll be shouting out chat too as we go. If you haven't already, smash that like button because it helps me out in the algorithm, and I'm trying to reach 500 subs by the end of 2025. So we got a little bit of a ways to go, but it'll be here before we know it. I'd love for StreamYard to just pay for itself. That's all I really want. But you know, if you like what I'm doing here, be a friend, tell a friend, because we are putting out content all the time over here. Well, really not all the time, but I'm trying to get some more stuff for the channel. If you missed it over the weekend, me and Lance resumed our ranking series, and we now have a ranking video for Transformers Cybertron. That was a ton of fun to do, and we're already planning our next one. I think we're going to do Robots in Disguise for a shorter one, though Beast Wars 2 and Beast Wars Neo are pretty small. And when I say Robots in Disguise is a shorter one, we don't really look at repaints and remolds, so that'll probably be a quick one. So I'm wondering, like, would it be a good idea to do Beast Wars the Second, Neo, and Rid all in one go, or Transformers 2000? Let me know what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and if you're watching me on the replay, yeah, let me know over there. But yeah, I've got a video in the works. I'm finishing up a Call of Duty video for Mazda that I'm really looking forward to getting out. It's going to be a long one. This thing's going to be about 50 minutes long. So if you're into the gaming scene, check out my link tree where I've got links to the Gronkin Gaming podcast as well as Mazda's channel, because yeah, I've really put a lot of work into this edit, and I'm hoping everybody enjoys it. But I got to make stuff for this channel too. So I'll be finally getting some, and I'm not going to say what it is. I'll probably start off small, probably get that collection tour out, and a little updated collection tour. I think that'll be a fun one to put together, and it won't take me too much time. But enough rambling. Let's get into the figure of the week. So this week's figure of the week, I kind of spoiled over on the Cybertron ranking video, and that figure is, well, Cybertron himself, Primus. So Primus was a big deal. This figure was originally released in 2005. This figure is going on 20 years old, and one of the crazier things about it is the batteries in the batteries still work. And it's funny enough, on the stream I actually opened this up to check for corrosion, and sure enough, these batteries are still good. So yeah, this was a big deal. Transformers Armada, as most of y'all know, was where we finally got a toy of Unicron. And Cybertron brought it full circle and finally gave us a toy of the planet Cybertron. And this guy was loaded with detail, and he was an amazing piece. It was very, very gimmicky, but he's still awesome all these years later. So the thing is, you take your Cyberplanet key and you put it into the ports here, and you initiate the transformation. He has like this automorph gimmick. Let me turn it around on camera, because even after all these years, it's still awesome. It's still fun to do. So you technically need this piece to transform him. However, you can just kind of wedge a finger in there. And this is just a simple, fun, effective transformation. And yeah, I'm glad that I have this. This is actually my original one too. It's one of the figures that survived from my original collection. I don't know if I'll ever get around to doing like a video rambling about that one day, you know, where the original collection went. But yeah, this guy going on 20 years, an amazing piece. Now, I do have the Studio Cell Primus, or the Studio Seed Primus. I think they just called him Seed 01. And I have him in the main collection room right next to their Unicron. But this guy just always will hold a special place for me. I just keep him displayed in planet mode. He, as you saw, forms a very nice little rendition of Cybertron. But still, this is just an awesome gimmick-based figure. And I've been messing with him, I can't say all week because we're only on Tuesday, but I've been messing with him for the past couple days in the downtime in my office. I just really fallen in love with this figure all over again. And I would love to see Hasbro give him the HasLab treatment, especially since we got a good glimpse of him in Transformers 1. I'd love to have a proper Primus. Again, he's supposed to be a little bit smaller than Unicron, but something that would go up against the HasLab Unicron. Though I do kind of worry what they would charge for him these days. That does it. Without further ado, that is my figure of the week, Primus. So let's say hi to chat real quick. We've got Mario Roca saying hello, Extra Zero. Good to see you, Mario. And we've got Sandro saying howdy, sir. Good to see you, Sandro. And Mario saying can't wait to hear the news about the Toy Fair that so many reveals. Yes. And I have a lot to say about Cyber World, and you might be surprised. You might be surprised what I think about it. Before we get into it, let's talk a little TFCon LA. So TFCon LA is coming up this weekend. It's actually really kicking off this week. So it starts on the 7th, Friday, and I have some friends that are going to be there. Treebot, Ghost Prime, and my boy Deluxe. They're all going to be there. And I'm really looking forward to seeing, getting their impressions. And also, too, we've only got one exclusive revealed, so I'm sure the exclusives are going to be revealed. The MMC ones are going to be revealed any day now. I thought I had seen a TF Source reveal for their next Seekers. I'll double check on that. But again, they're just doing more Seekers. So MMCs really are one holdout. But we got some new guests announced for TFCon LA. Let's scroll back. So first and foremost, we've got John Machida Jr., the voice of Blur. You might know him as the Micro Machines guy, but he was also Blowpipe, Punch and Counterpunch in Generation 1, and he also reprised his role as Blur in TF Animated. I'd love to meet John. He seems like a really good dude, and he's one of those people that's just really in touch with the fans. So another awesome guest. We've got Eric Seibendelar, who was the lead toy designer for Transformers Animated, and I believe he worked alongside Derek J. Watt, so another cool guest to have there. We've got Nicole Dubuck, who was a writer on Transformers Prime, Rescue Bots, and Earthspark. Marty Eisenberg, who worked on Transformers Animated and Beast Machines, as well as Rescue Bots. I think he was also a co-creator of Blade, if I'm not mistaken. The Marvel Comics character Blade. Donald F. Glutt, who was a writer for the G1 cartoon. Neil Ross is going to be there, famously the voice of Springer, as well as Bone Crusher, Crosshairs, Point Blank, Slag. He did a lot of voices. I've actually met Neil. I met him at the very first TFCon I attended in Virginia. Really cool dude. I wish I'd gotten a picture and an autograph back then, but I just wasn't into doing those back then. I was just like, hey, I'm just here for the toys. But Neil's an awesome dude with a lot of really good stories. And of course, they've also revealed their TFCon shirt. So, yeah, not only do we have those guests and the shirt reveal, but also 30 is going to have an official presence there, which is also pretty cool. They had a bit of a presence at TFCon Baltimore, so I'm hopeful that they'll have some new reveals or some cool things to show off. Because, having some people on the inside, I know that they're going to be taking some pictures, and I want to be talking about it here. I'll see if Deluxe is willing to come on next week and talk about his experience. I know he does his news segments on Tuesdays, so maybe he'll want to collaborate and come on. So I'll see if he's interested. Maybe we'll get Treebot on too. I'd love to have Treebot on. So those are our updates for TFCon LA, and let me go back and check and see if we'll save it for third-party news But I'm pretty certain that TF Source had shown off their exclusive. Yeah, no, we'll see if they've got them up now. Yeah, because I thought they were just going to be like, yeah, here we go. So yeah, we've got our new Colorverse figures for TFCon, and I just wish Make Toys would just do something different. Was talking to Lance on the Cybertron ranking, the tier list. You know, just put out the Galaxy. You know, the Cybertron, Starscream, and the Thundercracker and Skywarp colors, but we're getting Wingnut, who again is just a Rainmaker that looks exactly like Thundercracker, and Dye Job, who just looks more like a toy Thundercracker. These are only limited to 200 pieces, but I don't think these have been selling out really at any of the conventions. But I still maintain that if they do a brown one and call it Shitstorm, I will buy it. So yeah, that's the second and third technically TFCon toy reveal for exclusives. But yeah, I know MMC is going to have their next Ruination bit. You know, the team member. Who knows what their proper exclusive or exclusives will be, but I always get excited for what MMC puts out. So let's get into our official news for the week. And Reverse Prime, good to see you. Hope you're having a good evening. So we're going to take a look at Leo Kaiser. And so Leo Kaiser has hit the first tier and really coming up on that second. Currently at 14,156 backers with 20 days to go. And the next one is the electromagnetic nunchuck, and that's at 16,000 backers. So I'm sure they'll hit that. I'm sure they'll also get the display stand. I'm sure that they'll get a last-minute surge that'll push all these through the tiers. But yeah, it's like, you know, I've said all there is to say about it. I just kind of wish that they would stop with the tiers at this point. Yeah, no, it is what it is. But again, I'm happy for anybody that's getting this. But yeah, it's all. I don't want to beat a dead horse on this one. I also wish that they, like Kickstarter, I mean, they have the resin prototypes, but I wish that they had a final product and not renders, and also would commit to not changing the product. Next up, we got a new series and collection possibly coming from Takara Tomy. And this came up on Snaka's blog, who I guess they're a Japanese blogger. They got a small teaser for an upcoming new series and collection by Takara Tomy. And this came from the latest issue of TV Magazine, and it came with a little teaser image with a 6 robot silhouette. One's definitely a prime, but it's kind of hard to make out what the others are. And over on that blog, it says, I completely forgot about it, probably because it became a quarterly publication, but the spring 2025 issue of TV Magazine was released on February 28th. Transformers-related articles are serialized manga and new series announcements. It says Transformers of the serialized manga Go is 4 pages in color, including Tariba. I don't know if that's a mistranslation or something I'm not keen on, but episode 23, Love Surprise, is posted. It's the episode where Cosmos, who is set to like surprises, is active, and an idea from the setting of the old toy version character of scaring humans in UFO mode is boredom, out of distinct boredom. Again, when you translate this stuff, it's kind of hard to make heads or tails. Is this going to be a small manga series, or is Japan going to put out their own? I hope it's the latter, because I miss those days where we had competition between Takara Tomy and what Hasbro is putting out. Now, again, there's a little bit of an agreement, but we'll get to it a little bit later. And I have some insight. I'd like to get T-Man on, because he was at Toyfair. It completely slipped my mind to ask him. But he did make mention that he was talking to people at Toyfair, and said that there is a little bit of a nuance between how Takara Tomy and Hasbro operate. And there is a bit of a partnership. Maybe he can explain it a little bit better. But I'd love for Takara Tomy to just go hog wild on a line, because when they do their original figures anymore, they they tend to be more hits than misses, but they also don't have as many of the budgetary constraints that Hasbro has. So I'd like to see that. I'd like to see original molds, original characters, maybe get a good anime that could be translated and brought over, something to resonate a little bit more with fans. So let's get into Toyfair. We're going to kick things off with the Blockies. And I think he already has this up on his channel, but the Blockies rep gave T-Man this Bumblebee, the Rise of the Beast Bumblebee. And I think this was an exclusive. So it's a first color sample of a limited redeco, and it's going to be exclusively on the Blockies US website. These are really fun figures. I got them up here. I've got the Rise of the Beast standard Optimus. And these are just really fun little snap together kits. I picked this up on Walmart.com, and they're cheap, they're fun, they're neat little despots, and you get a lot for what you pay for. And I know they have Blockies starting at and they're starting to show up in the electronics section at Walmart. If you haven't seen them already, and they're $5. But these are neat little model kits, and it kind of just really makes you. Now this guy wasn't $5 because he's a little bit more complex, and when you shake him, I don't know if you can see it on camera, his eyes and his chest light up. But yeah, these are $15 for the electronics and a little bit extra complexity. But Blockies is kind of killing it right now, and these are just neat little fun kits. I think this Bumblebee is one of the more deluxe figures. You can see his eyes are lit up there, done in that gold paint. And of course he comes in a special box. I have the Nemesis. I did pick up the Nemesis Prime when I was at TFCon Baltimore. And there's kind of what you'd see in the end cap, and then you can see the larger boxes, that classic class. They're the larger ones, and the smaller boxes of the $5 figures. But none of these are expensive at all. And they're just a treat to put together. They're showing off this shattered glass regular Optimus that looks really cool. It's the same kit that I have, so that's going to be a little bit of a larger one, a little bit of a larger Prime there. But it's just cool that they're doing stuff like this, and they're also expanding their line. It looks like they're expanding to Minions and some different Japanese properties like Ultraman and Godzilla. And they're just awesome figures. I love this company out the gate. There's one for that's weird. I think that's the same one that I just showed, albeit holding Transformer 1 Optimus's axe. There's more of a Age of Extinction stealth Bumblebee. I love the fact that they're dipping their toes into Beast Wars now. So we're getting a proper Optimus Primal. I think that's kind of more repurposed from Rise of the Beast. But I'll take that color deco. I'd love to have a little tiny Optimus Primal, as well as a D16. Or I guess at that point he's technically Megatron. Even doing some of the Baver stuff. Yes, Blockies is just a really cool company, and they're in touch with the toy community. I know T-Man was talking to the Blockies reps there, and I know he's put up a video on his channel. He went with TM Reviews, and yeah, these are just really cool, fun, cheap figures. If you got a younger kid that's just interested in Transformers, and you want them to have something good quality that's posable, that they can build, kind of like a little Lego set. Yeah, these are it. And so I hope they kind of expand beyond Walmart. These would be neat little, and they do come blind bagged, but I think these would be neat little impulse buys to have all around. So let's get into the cool stuff. And yeah, there's the Nemesis Prime that I have. So part 1, the Hasbro booth, we get a look at the Wave 1 Deluxes for Age of the Primes. I believe Solus is also in this wave, but we're definitely now getting a Bruticus because they're showing off their Vortex. Crasher, who was previously part of the Velocitron line subline at Walmart, is getting reissued in this line. So anybody that missed out on her gets an opportunity. Any GoBots fans get the opportunity, and we get a look at Alchemist Prime. So this is what was on display. And I was talking to T, and he was saying that Vortex in particular looks really good in person. So hopefully this is a good official Bruticus, because the last one we got was obviously the Combiner Wars one. And, that one really disappointed me just because of the way they handled Onslaught. Crasher is just a slight retool, new head of Mirage. I wish they had given her new weapons. And then, of course, Alchemist Prime is a brand new mold. He's one of the 13 primes. And yeah, Alchemist is looking really, really good. I love how they did that hunter green, and they did the gold accents on him. And I believe T told me that he is a completely new mold as well. So. And then we move into not day 2, but part 2. And this is where they showed off more. Of course, obviously, we're getting the Onyx Prime, who is a triple changer. So Onyx Prime he has a Centaur mode, a Biped mode, and a Dragon mode. Now, I like the way this guy looks. I wish there was a bit more color. I was seeing Bolt Matrix over on Twitter was talking about how his biggest gripe with these is that they're really just coming up as like one primary color. And I don't really disagree with that. I do like the fact when you get in close, there are some differences. Like you have a couple shades of brown, like that copperish brown, and then more of a darker brown and more of a chocolate color with silver and gold accents, as well as the red details picked out. I really like this sculpt, but I do wish that they had some more paint all around, or maybe a little bit more contrast and breakup, but it still looks awesome. And while I don't disagree with the fact that, some of these characters are, more or less one primary color, I think I can excuse it a little bit with them being primes, because, if you think about it, like Optimus and Rodimus Primes, they really are kind of a few colors, and maybe just kind of keeping that in line. Alpha Trion too, he's kind of like 3 colors. Maybe they're kind of going for that aesthetic here. But yeah, Onyx just looks really awesome. And there's some pictures of the Centaur mode as well as the Dragon mode. And this is, I was told this is also a very big leader class figure. And I don't think we get enough Dragon Transformers. I know they kind of like blew their wad with the Last Night, but none of those Dragon figures were really good. And, we recently got to the Transmetal 2 redo, and that was a good Dragon. I'm sure they'll do Cryotech for Age of Primes. And but this is a very good looking Dragon Transformer. And I just also love the unique Centaur mode. And if you want, you can make him a biped. I'll probably have him in that Centaur mode. But looking very good. He's really filling out that leader box as well. Then we get a 2-pack with the Elite Seeker and Ground Soldier. So this is part of Studio Series, the Gamerverse set. So these are troop builders from Transformers Devastation. Really cool to see these getting done. I'm sure they'll probably do a couple different decos. But yeah, this is obviously a Conehead repaint as well as a retool of, believe it or not, it looks to be like the Earthrise Wheeljack, as far as I can tell. I was kind of hoping they do Runabout Run Amok. I was thinking that would be the logical choice, but I think this is fine for what it is. But yeah, these guys are looking pretty good. And then we also get the Amazon exclusive Wreck and Doom collection, Carnivac and Fistatron. These are obviously Carnivac, who was a pretender, Heavy, well, not really a heavy, but a retool of Weird Wolf from Titan's Return, and Fistatron is a what appears to be a Hound retool, and that of course is the new name for Iron Fist. And then of course the Spinister and Top Spin, which has been up for pre-order for a minute, but these are our Amazon exclusives, and they're looking pretty darn good. So, and I think that's, I can't tell if that's, I think that's the Siege Hound that they really based this off of, though I think they're really just using the same base. But looking good. And then Triptychon on display. I think this is the first time we've seen him at a show, and he's also looking good. Then we also get in-person looks at Sideways, Excellion. Well, I guess are they calling him Excel? Yeah, they're calling him Excellion. And I think Sideways looks great. I wish that they had done transparent plastic on him. Would have made the visor pop, but I think he looks really good for what he is. Glad to see Cybertron getting more and more love. And Excellion, this is a great mold. Really did Hotshot justice. And I hope that they do the upgraded version of Hotshot from Cybertron. We talked about that over on the ranking stream, but I love the flame deco on the front. And then we get this one, the Voyager Perceptor, and this is the only way you're going to be able to get a Studio Series Ram Horn and Rat Bat. I get it, Blaster and Blaster, Perceptor, and Soundwave fought in the movie, and I get that they're getting rid of Core Class, but I kind of wish they had just come up with a third tape for Studio Series. Maybe give us an updated Ravage, because let's be honest, the one that they had for Siege and they reissued it in Legacy is just kind of like not that great. I think if they had given us like Rat Bat, Ram Horn, and Ravage, and also too, it's like, how are we going to get the other, accessory bit for Blaster, since the little speaker bit came with Steeljaw in the Core Class version. Plus, they've already done a Studio Series Perceptor, so they're making everybody double dip just to get the cassettes, which I'm not a big fan of. Plus, they already did Rat Bat. Yeah, they already did Rat Bat for Siege, and I think he's fine. Albeit the paint here does look better. But yeah, I think it's kind of crap to mark that up to a Voyager there. So then, of course, we get a good look at the Hearts of Steel in hand. We've already seen these, but I love that Megatron so much. And Starscream, the more I see a Starscream, he's growing me. And I think right there, Prime's feet don't look as bad. I also like the fact they're using it looks like some semi-metallic paint on him, which I think looks pretty good. Then we get into Cyberworld, and we'll have a little bit more. Cyberworld's definitely a kid's line. What I like about this is they're not going for just one price point with these. And they're doing larger ones that are more playset. So we're getting a big old Scorponok. I believe the Scorponok is about $60. And these are all kind of like, they're not like, they're simple figures, but they're about like 4 steps. And they're definitely kind of this mishmash between really rescue bots and what they were doing for Earthspark, like the kids line. These aren't targeted at adult collectors, and I'm fine with that. I like the fact that there's homages here, and I like the fact that they're doing one of the things that I said that Hasbro should do. Smaller price points, but still have variety, and just make the toys well. So if the plastic quality is good on these, I will probably be picking some up for my nephew, because like these just look like neat little fun figures that he could figure out. And there's a big silly looking Grimlock that is like a ride-on that also is a mech suit for the smaller robots. And again, these are all bricks. They're kind of like, Armada. You see Mark Clonus back there. T told me he got to meet him. But these do not look bad for kids. I don't see like a lot of waffling on these. If the plastic qualities, that they're actually painted okay, if the durability and the plastic quality is there, and the YouTube series resonates with kids, I think that this could actually be something good. Then we're also getting a look at the size of Galaxy Prime. Or I'm sorry, Star Optimus Prime. Not Galaxy Optimus Prime. But yeah, I think Cyberverse could be something all right. Kids, let me catch up on chat before we go too far. Hey, see, we got Angry Canadian in here. Good to see you, my friend. Glad you could make it. And he is admiring the Blockies, Wheeljack, and Crasher. We also got Megatronus Prime in. Hey, good to see you, as well as Paul Morales. And Mario saying the Age of the Primes Wave 1 revealed is yet to be released in April, as were Wave 2 we saw from the Voyagers, Heatwave, and Skybite. The rest are deluxe, and laters were not at Mega. Yeah, it's interesting they split it all up in the way they revealed it. And I'm also curious, like, when, because, it looks like they're hitting, like, Eastern markets, because people like Chefitron and Prime vs. Prime have them already. I think by the end of the month, we'll probably start seeing stuff trickling into retailers, especially since people have already found the new studio series, Bumblebee 2.0. So we finally get a look at the Hot Wheels Transformers crossover. It wasn't just Hot Wheels masquerading as Transformers. We're actually getting classic Hot Wheels vehicles made into Transformers, and these are looking pretty good. I talked to T-Man about them. He said they looked good in person. I don't think he knows whether or not they have die-cast like classic Hot Wheel cars do, but I really think these look neat. I love the effects parts they're coming with. I love the fact that they're going with metallic fleck paint to really sell home. These are supposed to be Hot Wheels. I know this guy's Bone Shaker. I forget what the blue guy is called. The blue guy is, I know he had his name up on a placard. There we go. It's Bone Shaker and Twin Mill. But I feel like back in the 90s, every kid had Bone Shaker. I remember seeing Twin Mill. I think it's probably, I'm not a Hot Wheels guy, but I think it's probably one of the faster cars that they put out. But these are looking good. I'm curious how these are going to be sold, whether they're going to be like mass retail or not, or if they're going to be online exclusives. I really like this robot mode for Bone Shaker. It is just badass. But I'm looking forward to picking both of these up. They just really say Hot Wheels in both modes, and they also just look like cool original Transformers in the process. So I hope Mattel and Hasbro can do some more work like this, because I'd love to see some of the classic Hot Wheels vehicles like get the Transformers treatment. I'm trying to remember like what the most popular from the 90s were. I mean, I used to have a ton of them. I mean, everybody did, but yeah, I'm glad to see these be a success. I'm surprised they're not giving them Autobot or Decepticon insignias, but again, I think that sells it a little bit more. Hey, Megatron, good to see you, and we got the Titan joining in. What scale? That's a good question. It could be 1/64th scale, but I've never really questioned that. Maybe they're definitely not 1/144, but they could be 1/64. Titan saying Optimus the train is even. I mean, like, I like the Hearts of Steel comic, and that's, for me, it's the robot modes that sell at home. Though, don't give Hasbro ideas, because we could see a Thomas the Tank Engine crossover. Oh Lord, help us if they retool it. Though, in all honesty, I would probably be interested for the lulz. We get our official pictures of the Age of the Primes deluxes that were revealed. So our stock, and all these are up on pre-order on the the usual suspect websites: Hasbro Pulse, Amazon, BBTS, Entertainment Earth, But yeah, this Vortex is looking pretty sweet. I guess that also indicates we're going to get a Commander class Onslaught down the line. Crasher, who we've seen time and time again. I do think it would be cool if they had just remolded a little bit so she could have the shoulder-mounted cannon. I love this effects piece that Alchemist comes with, where it like looks like he's got like projection of like a little holographic computer screen in lieu of weapons. Love the mustache and the eyes, just very, very steampunk looking. This looks like a good little fun chunky bot. And then also, this wasn't really shown, but there is going to be a reissue of the Siege Jetfire with a Void Rivals pack-in. So I believe you get the comic along with this, and I don't know if the Jetfire is going to come with his fast pack or not, but I still think that's pretty cool. So I haven't read Void Rivals yet, but you get the 3 3/4 inch Zertanian and Argorian figures. I think that's pretty cool. I'm not sure if they're going to paint the insignia on him or not. It's blank there in the comic, but they got rid of the transparent plastic there, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with this Jetfire, and also what they price it at. But also a good opportunity for anybody that missed out on it or wants a more Studio Series aesthetic one. Megatron says it looks like an Energon bra. I can see that. I can kind of see it, but now I can't unsee it. But I do see the computer, but I also see the boobs. Effortless Random saying, can't wait to start collecting Age of the Primes line. Yeah, I'm right there with you, my friend. I'm really looking forward to those dropping. And the Titan, yes, we will be talking about that just a bit. So this was also something that went out. I know some folks got it. Larkin's Lair has a walkthrough of this, but there is a Classics Studio Series, not a Classics, but kind of a throwback to what we used to get. The old checklists. I wish they would just... They're $1 billion company. Come on, can you just toss this in? Can you toss this in with your figures? Not raise the cost, but this is just so cool to see. It's like one of those things you just don't know what you have till it's gone. These old catalogs and, even like the little checklist for Devastator with the art. I know everything's online now, and the argument is, oh, well, you can just look at pictures on the internet, but... there's nothing that really compares to those days of being a kid, opening up a fresh toy in the car and looking at all of the, all of what you could get, what was out there, the stuff you didn't see on the shelves or didn't know was coming. So cool they did that. I just wish that the masses had the opportunity. And then we get official photography for Cyberverse, as well as some pricing. So Scorpionox coming in at $60. The Grimlock is coming in at $30, and there's also going to be a Ultimate Megatron that's $25, as well as a armored Bumblebee and Galvatron for $14.99, as well as the standard ones being $9.99. So I'm glad that they're doing some diversity in the size classes. I think they really pigeonholed a lot with the kids lines, where they were just doing like the warrior class and that's it. So I'm glad to see they're doing some bigger figures that kind of have like more of, play pattern to them. And I just hope that Cyberworld itself is decent, because I would love to see that. Look, whether you're upset that this line exists or not, there needs to be an entry point for kids. And I don't think Rescue Bots was really cutting it. And I don't think Earthspark definitely wasn't cutting it, nor was the Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures. And I've heard that the Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures actually ended up getting good, but I saw this Prime and the Grimlock, and I'm like, I gotta get that for my nephew. My nephew's turning 2, and when this comes out, I want to get one and keep it aside for when he's a little bit older, so he can have his own Prime and Grimlock. Like I have in my collection. I have the multiple Prime and Grimlocks, but I have like the G Creations one. And, just run through the official photography here. I think these look pretty good. You can see like Mega Bull there with the Scorponok, and you can put all the little guys in his knees. It's been a long time since we had like some of these gimmicks, and I hope that there's some spring-loaded stuff going on in these, and stuff to make like that blade spin. And I'm fully fine with these not being for me, but one of the things that I do see kids play with a lot is Imaginext. And you take that Imaginext design, because I have two, my cousin's kids, I call them my nephews, but the boys love the Imaginext stuff. They love the Batman, they love the Spider-Man stuff. And I think what they're really doing with this is kind of taking that Imaginext design and applying it to Transformers. So if it has the durability of Imaginext, I think they could be onto something here. And I honestly think this Grimlock, it looks kind of doofy, but it also looks like something a kid would really love. And I also like the fact that they're going with the Imaginext price points. There's a bit of waffling in there, but I don't see anything too egregious. I don't think that, as I mentioned, they're not like skipping on the paint. This little mech mode is neat. And then you get a look at the Bumblebee and Galvatron at the higher price point. Galvatron this time kind of turning into like a dragon tank kind of thing. And, these all look to be really standard transformations, but they're also giving them articulation like Rescue Bots didn't have. I'm not sure what character that's supposed to be, even though it looks like Mirage. There's Mega Bull. Mega Bull looks pretty cool. I mean, this Optimus, I'll probably end up picking up an Optimus for myself since I collect Optimus figures, but these again, like a little Skybite that turns into a car. I mean, that's so kind of like Hot Wheels. Even this larger Megatron that turns into like he's like a G2 homage that turns into like a weapons, like an anti-aerial truck. Could use more paint, but again, I get what they're going for. And yeah, the Titan says they need good, engaging stories to hook kids that want to play with toys, and I wholeheartedly agree. So I'm hoping this isn't just like a throwaway line, with a show that's kind of goofy, or like little 5-10 minute segments. I hope that they come up with something that like is kind of like a new G1 or new Armada for kids. I think that's really what's needed. Something that actually tries to sell the toys to the kids, because that's one of the things that's definitely lacking. Cybertron posted a larger look at it. We get a look at Elita 1 in there. So there's a different Optimus Prime that wasn't initially shown, and that one's kind of neat looking as well. But there's Elita 1. And it looks like they're even doing a bludgeon for the line, which, come on, bludgeon in a kid's line, that's pretty cool, especially if they do like, friction missiles and stuff. So, I don't know where they're, dang, oh, okay, that's why. It opens up in a new window. Maybe it's not bludgeon, maybe it's Venom. I don't know. But, okay, so yeah, Elita 1's using the Riptide's body, but yeah, I'm not sure if that's Bludgeon or Venom or what, but still, even seeing like new characters and new designs, like I want to know what Mega Bull is, and yeah, I just think these look neat. And yes, Titan, we will be talking about Ramen Toy down the line, and as well as the BotCon stuff, because that is pretty darn cool. We also get some reveals from Takara Tomy. They're continuing the Dramatic Capture series. I wish they were selling these separately, because I think that Wheeljack's paint job is so much better. I'm happy with the Voyager class one, and I also like the fact it looks like they're giving some symmetry to the Energon rods. You're getting 6 instead of 5. But yeah, this is going to be a 3-pack coming down the line. It'll probably be $90 to import. And they also formally announced Missing Link RC, both in the prototype colors as well as a Tune deco. And what's also interesting is she gets some changes across the two. She gets a different head for the more anime version, and a little bit of a different deco. It looks like they're doing screw hole covers on her shoulders there. We do have a little bit of a better look. This came off the TFND Facebook. But yeah, there's a good look at how they're going to look in their bot modes as well as their vehicle modes. Now, I'm not all in on Missing Link, but I will probably get these two because when I was a kid, I always wanted RC. I had most of the cast of the movie. I had all the Autobots. I had Scourge and Galvatron, and I just wanted to round out RC. And yeah, I like the fact that they're doing it as she would have appeared as a G1 toy in her prototype colors. And I also like the fact that they went ahead and did a G1 anime color one. So I will probably pick both of these up. If not both, I'll definitely get this one. Also because I love the whole Wheelie's mom lore that Lance and I made up around this deco of the character. I also have the MMC one, and I think they'd look neat together. And I'm so interested in seeing like what could have been. And lastly, brickheads are not only coming back, but these were found on the shelves. A TFW member found, this is Omega Fix, found these at the Lego store where they live in Freehold, New Jersey. And it's a Brickheads, Optimus Prime, and Bumblebee. These are 2-packs. So you build the car and you build the vehicle mode. I will get the Optimus Prime because I'm a sucker for Optimus Primes. The Bumblebee, not so much, but yeah, I wish they had done these much sooner. Thank you, Mark. I thought it was, I knew it was either, that's definitely Barrage. I think I mixed up the color schemes there as well, but thank you. But yeah, I probably will pick these up. If and when I see them. Hopefully they make their way to Target, or next time my wife and I go to the mall that has the Lego store, I might just be like, yeah, I gotta get this. So let's look at our third-party stuff, because there is some third-party that crept its way into Toyfair, believe it or not. So let's head over to those posts. So we're going to start off not with that, but we're going to start off with an add-on kit. And that's going to be DNA Designs add-on kit for Legacy United Chromia. And this is just a repurposed recolor of their Prowl add-on kit that they did. It looks like she's getting a couple new weapons here. But you can see there's a light upgrade that gives her a little, a cockpit visor piece, which I like. And then you can give her all the Prowl stuff if you so choose. I like that this can be reconfigured to be kind of a bow and arrow. I really just think that this vastly improves the vehicle mode. Like, you can give her a sidecar like you could for Prowl, or you can do this configuration here, which makes her look more like a Tron light cycle and gives her a bit of a spoiler. I like that a lot. Of course, I love the whole silhouette here of having her being like armored up to go against the Grimlock Godzilla that's coming out. They have their own little headcanon. But this should be out relatively soon. I don't know that it's up for pre-order anywhere, but it's supposed to be releasing this May. Then we head over to Weibo. We've got Galaxy Toy, and they are doing a roller that looks like it'll scale with, it looks to be like a Dr. Wu scaled figure that actually transforms. So this is pretty neat. I'm being told this is smaller than Legends class. So that's all the info we have, just these renders. Now, if we head over to Facebook, this was shared out through TM Reviews. Shout out to TM Reviews. He was at Toyfair along with T-Man. This is the Robot Toys Lord Ventagon, and these pictures originally came from Magmotion. Now, Magmotion does have a video up for this figure, and this should be dropping relatively soon. And it's also going to be pretty, if you get it from an Asian retailer, he should be relatively on the cheaper side. And this is their take on a masterpiece scale Beast Horse Scorponok. And we just get some dynamic pictures here. Now, when Lance and I were doing the the tier list, we did pull this guy up briefly, and he scales amazingly with the Beast Wars Masterpiece figures. So I'm looking forward to getting him in hand. He's got a lot of face options. He's got visor options. He's got an LED option. He even has articulated eyebrows in the Scorpion mode. So I cannot wait for this guy to drop. That's gonna be an easy buy for me. I'm hoping that the quality on him is good, but I'm sure reviewers will have him in hand soon enough. And then on X-Transbot's Weibo page, they revealed that they have basically a colored prototype of their Misfire. So let's see if we can get this video up. Come on, there we go. It's fighting me. So we get a look at this painted up Misfire and showing off his Target Master, an optional head, and just kind of going through the articulation on him. I mean, this looks pretty decent. Again, I have a love-hate with X-Transbots. They nail the sculpts, but they just get stuff out the gate to where quality isn't always there. Now, this is looking pretty quality. And if you didn't tell me otherwise, I would think that this might be a Fans Toys Headmaster or Target Master. Like, all the articulations there, the sculpt is good. It's just really going to come to paint. Looks good. I love that metallic paint on his Target Master. And of course, they go through. I'm not going to go through the whole thing here. And he should also be relatively simple transformer. So hopefully, and you know, when it's a simple transformation, X-Transbot seems to do all right. We'll skip ahead here. Showing the head swap. You know, showing the different faces you can do. And again, there's no audio that I'm going to play on this one, but yeah, just giving us a good look. So I'm hoping that the price is right. I like the fact that you can even mount the Target Master onto his forearm. That's looking pretty good. The vehicle mode's looking good. It's just really going to come down to quality for me. So we also get a look, and this is up for pre-order over on Magic Square's website. And this is their Night Tracer. And this is supposed to be out this month. And the Titan's saying, I think around $90. Yeah, so if you get Robot Toys Scorponok on, I believe, Show Z, I believe he's even less. Let me fact check myself in real time. So, yeah, no price up on Show Z. Let's see, TF Safari has him up yet. I'm doing this on another window, so yeah, just deposits, but domestically he's going to be about 90. So typically I kind of look at like taking 33% or a third off of the price when you get to import figures versus what they charge on like the domestic ones. And Megatron saying looks pretty good. Just don't think I have room for Target Masters in my collection at the moment. I have like a Headmaster shelf, so I would kind of put him there next to like I've got Weird Wolf and Mind Wipe and Skull Cruncher on his shelf. So I think he'd probably go with them. And I've got Punch Counter Punch and Sound Blaster there. So he probably would just hang out with all of them. But yeah, this is going to be out this month from Magic Square, and this is their Masterpiece Scale Onslaught. And this is in my opinion, this is the best looking Masterpiece Scale Onslaught we've got to date, and I was a big fan of the MMC one. So yeah, you get a look at his robot mode as well as his combined mode, the posability. I just hope that he has better hip skirts than their Swindle had. You can see he actually can function and hold Brawl on the back, which is just awesome. I love the fact that they're color matched as well. And yeah, he's just looking awesome. No idea if he's going to have LEDs in the eyes, but you get a sense of scale there. And let me go over to Magic Square's website, because I know typically when they have pre-orders up, you put in like a $1 deposit, but I don't know if they've put a price up for them yet. Now, their other figures have been relatively inexpensive. And yeah, so right now when you go to their site, it's actually a $0 pre-order, but all the same pictures here. Now, they actually also have a video showing them off now. Watch a little bit of that. Compared to his old Legends counterpart. Get a little cheeky with this. There he is next to his Seeker, official Seeker. And Starscream. They scale pretty good. And they're going through the transformation. And all the transformations on these guys have been relatively straightforward and just the right level, the right balance between fun and complex. So, yeah, looking good. So again, I don't want to get flagged for showing too much of somebody else's YouTube video. Do they show? I guess they don't show him as a torso with the legs, the two legs attached. That would be pretty neat. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this guy. And yeah, shows he has him for $165. I've been buying from Magic Square directly because it's just a little bit less. So I'm guessing that it'll probably be around $150. Mario, I'm behind on Skybound, but I have the first two trade paperbacks, and that's just how I've been reading them. And yeah, I guess if you know how they're how they fit next to a Seeker, it should give you a good indication. I kind of want to sell my MMCs and just double up on these guys now. So we're going to close up on the Ramen Toys homages. These are going to be some BotCon exclusives. These come courtesy of TM Reviews. And TM Reviews was, as I mentioned, with T-Man at Toyfair. And you got to look at this. So Ramen Toys has been doing mask homage figures. And now they're giving, for BotCon, some Transformers mask homage figures. So their mask line repainted up to look like Transformers vehicles. So we get a G2 Megatron here on display. And there's TM's hand for a size comparison. It's a big, big, big set. And yeah, this should be coming to BotCon this year. You know, that would be funny. As cheap as ramen noodles are, it would be funny if they tossed them in there. It's also interesting that Ace is like interesting guy. You know, he's running like a legitimate licensing company, but then he also does like these cheeky homages. I don't know how long they're going to be able to get away with this, because at Toyfair, Mask is making a comeback, and we'll close the night out on that. But we also get their Dead End. They've got a Dead End homage that's coming out, and some familiar looking costumes there, eh? But yeah, these still do all the mask stuff. Hey, Princeton, good to see you, buddy. So it's cool. It's cool they were able to work this out. Agabus even had a presence at Toyfair, which was pretty interesting. You know, I'm glad to see that Hanny's making it. He runs a good shop. Always does great customer service, and running BotCon now, they're making things pretty legit. So loyal subjects they got the mask line, and John Warden has picked up a job working with them. So that's pretty cool to see him bounce back, and also not only bounce back from what Hasbro laying him off at probably one of the worst times, but also to pick up a line that he's passionate about and to bring it back in a big way. So T and Sony, well, T really told me that this line is going to be $100 and down. So these are going to be aimed at collectors, but they're not going to be skimping on these. So this is from Geek Tyrant, and they go into some detail about what Mask was, as well as like giving some of the promotional pictures of the new line. But this is looking pretty cool, especially also since they're bringing back all of the gimmicks, and people have been begging for Mask to return. I believe there is an interview. So yeah, over on ToyArc, they have some additional pictures from Toyfair, and these are all based on the original. These are new molds from scratch. They've got some new features like putting mirrors on the Camaro, and they're right now using the short versions of the mask, but this is going to launch online and also wind up at retailers. So starting off like BBTS and Entertainment Earth, but I'm sure Walmart and Target will probably carry some of these. And again, they mentioned here $100 and down is a price point. I think that's fine considering the fact that if they're not skimping on quality, just for inflation, the original mask line was pretty expensive, and I think most people are probably happy paying more to not get compromised and not have to deal with third parties, companies like DNA Designs fixing figures for them. Again, John Warden's back directing this line. The only thing that's kind of crappy is the stickers are going to be they're not going to be factory applied. They're using stickers, not tampo, and customers are going to be on the hook for that. Titan says the Rhino is set to be $100, but seems to be lacking chrome. I don't know if they're going to change any of that. I don't know how far along any of this stuff is or was. I feel like they for the price point, they should definitely have chrome. I know there's arguments for and against. As long as they're painting it up, if they're not using chrome, I think that's fine. But I still think these are looking to be a good offering. I just kind of worry, is Ramen going to be able to continue doing what they're doing? And then also in hand, are these going to beat Ramen in terms of quality? But this also does show, when you're dealing with Hasbro licensing stuff out, is it really a bad thing if stuff's coming out the gate looking like this? Like the fact these are also coming with effects parts, so it's also interesting too. Like we know that like the Flames toys transforming Rodimus is coming out. Are we going to see them give companies beyond Flames Toys and Cubex, or I forget what the name of that one company is, the rights to do Transformers? So gotta imagine a world where they give the license formally to like Fans Toys. That would be crazy. Just let Fans Toys take over Masterpiece. Then they would get really expensive probably. But I do think that the Ramen stuff is slightly larger, and the Titan confirming that. But it's again, when it comes to official stuff, a lot of times official takes over, and you also wonder too, can these coexist with Ramen? Will they try and do like a cease and desist? I do think that the human characters that Best Action's putting out look really good. And again, I'm not a mask guy. I don't really know much about masks. Although I see like that was like Peely from Fortnite there. I wonder if T noticed that. But I just think this is interesting. One, because John Warden's back and he's doing like a line that converts, which was one of his passions. And also we're seeing good things coming from Hasbro licensing their stuff out to other companies. I'm surprised and shocked that Playmates didn't have a presence there at Toyfair, because I'm really curious what they're going to do with the Power Rangers line, because Playmates' Ninja Turtles stuff and their Godzilla lines have been kind of they're for kids, and the Godzilla stuff's apparently selling well, but it just looks very unappealing. I think that's going to wrap it up for tonight's episode. If you haven't already, go and check out the tier list that we did for Transformers Cybertron. I posted it up on the community tab. So, let me know whether you agree, disagree. One of the things that might be throwing you off is we did also cover the beginning of Legends. So I don't know if you know this, Legends started in Transformers Cybertron. So when Lance put his tier list together, he had to remind me of that Legends started, and we also individually ranked the Legends figures that came out for Cybertron. So we're wondering, like, why are there 2 Megatrons? Why are there 2 Primes? Why are there 2? That's why. It's because we included the Legends in there. So if you haven't already, smash that like button if you like what I'm doing over here. If you're not already subscribed, hopefully tonight is the night that I earned a subscription. And if you do subscribe, or if you haven't already, hit that notification bell, because you never know when I'm going to be coming out with additional content. And I'll be doing that collection tour video, as well as I got to do my extrospective. After I get the Mazda edited out, I'm gonna finally finish that. I know I've been really dragging my feet, but I feel like once I get that off the ground, I'll be able to move on other stuff. I've been watching Paper Melon, and I want to put out something that's as quality as what he puts out. And it's taking more time than I wanted. But I think a collection tour for 2025 would be fun. I'd like to do like yearly collection tours just to kind of show how things update around here. But thanks to everybody that tuned in. I wouldn't be able to do this show without each and every one of you who join me every week. And also, if you're watching me on the replay squad, let me know if you saw anything at Toy Fair that's really calling out to you, or if there's anything that you're really looking forward to, that we showed from Takara Tomy or the third-party scene. If you're interested in picking up masks, let me know. I do read the comments and react to them. So with that, I hope everybody has a great rest of their week ahead, and I will see you all on the next one. Have a great one. Zero out.